Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next of TTA's summer sessions. So, the Tutors Association is really pleased to bring you a range of some of the best tutoring professional development opportunities as we can, with a series of summer sessions that's offering training and guidance on a whole range of different topic areas within the tuition landscape. So today we're really pleased to be hosting Ayush Agarwal from Pencil Spaces. Ayush and I have been working together for some time now. He's a big fan of the Tutors Association. Pencil Spaces have been present at a number of TTA events. Indeed, they've been sponsors of a number of TTA events recently, where they've been able to demonstrate all of the services they can offer, in particular with regard to remote tutoring, which I'm going to hand over to him to talk about at the moment. Now, obviously, remote tutoring is a very topical thing to have a session on. Obviously, you're all dialing in remotely. Anyone that's watching this after the event is doing so remotely. So it's obviously a real opportunity for people in terms of how they can integrate remote tutoring into their business. So without any further ado, I'm going to say a big thank you to Ayush in advance and allow him to take the floor and deliver this session for us. Thanks so much, Ayush.
John, thank you so much. And a huge thanks to the TTA for organizing this excellent series for all of us to learn and grow with each other. And to all of you who are dialing in, and to those of you who are watching this afterwards, thank you also for spending some time together here. My goal is to share as much as possible to help you expand your business, to expand your reach and your impact, and to create lots and lots more value for others and also for yourself. So let's dive in. I'd love to get to know all of you as a part of this process and this time together as well. So, would love to keep it interactive as much as possible. I have a lot more content than what we may be able to cover in this session, but in the spirit of engagement, in the event we're not able to cover everything, I'm certainly more than happy to pick things back up from you afterwards to keep the conversation going. So first things first, just from my curiosity, how many of you already teach online? If you don't mind raising your hands, just so I know. Amazing, quite a few people. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so about half the room is already online, or maybe less than half. But thank you. Looks like 12 of us already teach online. Excellent. Okay. With that information, what I'll do is I'll maybe for those of us who are not already online, just show you a few key insights to help you get online. And then for those who are already online, proceed with helping you sell more online, and then show you how you can grow your business. So first of all, I'm not going to immediately, focus on how do you grow your business tenfold with remote tutoring, because honestly, that is the effect, right? That is the outcome that we want, but outcomes have a cause. There's a cause that has the effect of growing your business tenfold with remote tutoring. And what is the cause? Really, if you add 10x the value that you add today to 10x as many clients, right? That is a cause set in motion. You are now adding 100%, 100x more value, right? 10,000% more value. It is certainly inevitable that you will grow your business by 10x, right? Because no one can wake up just saying, okay, I want to grow business by 10x without adding more value. That is the beauty of business. You have to create more value. So the question is then, how does one create 100x more value? One recipe certainly add 10x the value to 10x as many clients. And that's what I'm here to discuss. Any questions thus far? All right. So one key asterisk to what I'm saying is, in order to achieve this, my recipe does require remote tutoring. Let me speak on that a little bit more. First of all, do you believe that online works? Because if you don't, in your heart of hearts, believe that online works and works really, really well, then it would be quite difficult for you to persuade others to receive online tutoring from you. Who in here on this call has very high conviction around online tutoring? Please raise your hand. Awesome. Awesome. I see quite a few. That's really good to see. For the rest of you who don't have very high conviction that online tutoring works, I think it's really important to develop that conviction, because if it is not clear in your heart of hearts, then it's going to be a challenge to persuade anyone else to do online tutoring. Of the people who raised your hands, any volunteers for someone who'd like to share as to why they have so much conviction in online tutoring? Why do you really, really believe that it works? Happy to call on names, but would love volunteers. Yes, Amy, please.
I think with my client group with neurodivergence, it's often people are quite IT orientated, and they can use the online sessions with recordings as well to look back. You can make it just as personal, and you can use kind of platforms and things which will help with engagement, but you can also make it very sort of real in the world that they're living in terms of kind of spending a lot of time on screens anyway, particularly in this sort of teenage group. But I think also it depends whether you're sort of looking at individual or group sessions as well, because I think it can work for both.
Excellent. Yeah, you're actually touching on a lot of points that'll be coming downstream momentarily, and it's very clear you have conviction in this. Maybe one more person. Could you please tell us how to pronounce your name?
Daniela.
Daniela, pleasure to meet you. Tell us a little bit about what gives you as much conviction on why online really works.
Because from my experience, it's not the online or in-person teaching that counts, but rather the relation that you can create with your students, and they have to trust you. You have to make them trust you and your knowledge and your methods, and then the success is assured 100%.
Such a great point, Daniela. And to paraphrase what you're saying, online or offline, what you're saying is actually the wrong dimension to be looking at. It is the relationship building, the connection. Yes. That is what matters. And if you're skilled at building that connection, then doesn't matter the medium. You will make it happen. Very, very insightful. Thank you for sharing that. So glad you mentioned this. So folks, you got to have conviction that online works. I really want to remind you of that and make an important point of it, because if you don't have conviction around that, a lot of what's to follow may not work. But here's some facts, right? Here's some facts that you can use to convince others. Certainly, I'm hoping you have the conviction, and you may be interacting with people who don't have the conviction. But for those of you who may not have the conviction, allow me to highlight to you a few facts that may help you realize that online does have a massive edge. First and foremost, the world's best tutors, right? The best tutor for this child right now may not be in a 30-mile radius, assuming 30 miles is a reasonable enough amount of distance to drive, right? It's just that person is just not necessarily in that radius. They may be there, but they may not. Highly likely that is probably not. Just a fact. Fact number two, research shows online works. I'll be more specific. Research shows online works better than in person, right? There's a ton of research backing this, and I highly recommend you take a look. If you would like access to some of these pointers to some of these materials, I'm more than happy to share. But for the skeptic, facts are facts. No one, statistically significant data is statistically significant data, and the facts prove it. And now the market data backs it up as well. So online is growing, and it is growing very, very fast. Okay. Tutoring companies are delivering more virtual tutoring today than they did during the pandemic as a whole. Think about it. Pandemic, everyone was online. And now we have grown past that. What that tells us is the total consumption of tutoring has increased, and a lot of the reason why it has increased is because online tutoring is probably easier to consume and is producing the desired effects. So these are three really interesting and compelling facts, right? And the other thing is that online tutoring is highly lucrative. Instead of using up your time, or for the client to use up their time, there's now much better time utilization. There is much more opportunity for cost arbitrage, where you may be able to find tutors in lower cost areas, serve clients in higher price areas. There's pricing arbitrage that you can do as well. So again, these are all factors that really make it easy to make a case for online to others and to yourself, to the extent that you may not be convinced. So I'm hoping, for the skeptics in the room, I hope that you're bought in, and I hope you agree with me that online tutoring works. Now what? Great. I believe that online tutoring works, but now what? How do I go tenfold? Before I proceed, any questions? All right, let us carry on. So in order to grow your business by tenfold, right, you need to have the conviction, and I hope what I just shared with you gives you some of that conviction. To grow any business, you have to be able to sell your offerings more effectively. That is certainly the root, that communication, those capabilities that you're selling. So let's talk a little bit about the communication. So fact number 5, the word online does not convert. Okay. There was a research done by the National Test Prep Association in the US, and they found that there's a 20% increase in sales by using the term virtual tutoring or remote tutoring instead of online tutoring. Same product, same offering, but a different framing of that offering. There's so much baggage with the term online tutoring from the COVID years, so much Zoom tutoring that happened during those years, or Google Meet tutoring that happened in those years, which resulted in people having horrible experiences. And that left a really bad taste in people's mouths. So what they're looking for now, or what they're open to now, is tutoring that is purpose-built, that is taught in optimized, tutoring optimized environments. And you can speak to that narrative by saying, look, we offer digital tutoring or virtual tutoring or remote tutoring. This is not a Zoom call. This is in a specialized virtual classroom. This is purpose-built to serve you. The next thing is, it's a quick tip, but I highly recommend it. Meet your client in your virtual classroom. Okay. When we enroll our children in their school, we often go for a campus visit. In a similar vein, I highly recommend that when you are consulting with a parent, invite them to meet with you, not on Zoom or not on Google Meet, unless you've decided to use those as your virtual classrooms, but in the platform where you're going to be teaching the child, because you're also giving them the experience of a campus visit, right? And ask them questions like, ask them, would you like to see the work that your child and your tutor are doing, right? And if they say yes, sorry, there's a little typo here. So if that is throwing you off, that is not supposed to be here. Would you like to see the work that your child and your tutor are doing? If they say yes, show them examples. right, in your virtual classroom of past work that students and tutors have done together. Ask them things like, do you value hands-on learning experiences and visualizations and interactions? And then demonstrate that to them. Yes, Daniela. No, okay, no worries. So that way, again, they really get a sense of what the goods are like, right? These are going to help you sell the platform that you are providing the experience in, and that is going to be important to your parent, to your buyer. Tell them, hey, we have a digital tutoring platform. Show them the capabilities. You're literally doing a mini campus tour. Does that make sense? The same way that when I enroll my child in a school, the school admissions team will show me the canteen, will show me the classroom, will show me around the facilities. Same idea. Do that because it just makes it easier for the buyer to buy. A lot of their concerns are allayed. Also, I just want to emphasize this. Don't do a show and tell. Really do a collaborate and engage. Show and tell doesn't work. Collaborate and engage. Teach them something, right? Offer them, hey, may I give you a demonstration of how our tutors teach, of how I teach? Pick up a concept, a simple concept. Here's how I would teach your child the platonic solids. Here's how it works, right? Make it interactive. I'm more than happy to show you how what cutting edge looks like in that dimension if you'd like, but show them the experience that helps them feel and experience the collaboration. Engage with them and have them feel that engagement, right? If you just tell them, hey, your child is going to be highly engaged, it doesn't convert. Does that make sense? I can confidently tell you digital tutoring works, and of course you can do it from anywhere, right? We have many clients who do this, and it's really great to see both the freedom that they experience and the greater business value that they experience. So I wanted to kick off our conversation with this and use this as a preface just to set the stage for what is to come. So just to summarize what I have covered thus far: value, sessions that are as good as in person, post-session value that is better than in person, some sales tactics that I mentioned, right? Don't, avoid using the word online. What we have found most effective is digital tutoring. Really focus on giving them the experience, collaborate and engage. And then methods, right? Talk a little bit more about the methods of how is it that your platform, your learning experience is going to be hands-on, the type of post-session value that you can deliver, the kinds of distractions that you can eliminate, because every parent that I talk to is very worried about their child watching a YouTube video or wandering off on another tab during class. Have you guys heard that? Alice, have you heard that? Parents being nervous about their child being distracted during an online tutoring session?
Yes, and in my experience, I've had a lot of parents come to me with that particular concern, because I guess in the wake of COVID, right, everyone, most students, shall we say, were kind of mastering this ability to multitask, where they were seeming like they were maybe listening, but maybe they were a bit, wanting to chat with their friends. So I have found in the wake of COVID that concern has been more prevalent. But I would say that being able to use audio-visual aids in lessons can help them to remain engaged in the lesson, as opposed to finding that distraction elsewhere.
Indeed. Thank you, Alice, for sharing that. And, folks, really the most powerful signal that you can provide parents is, I, the tutor, know the moment the student is not engaged, right? And in fact, what I've seen folks do is call out parents in the middle of a tutoring session, in the middle of their sales call, quote unquote. If you're equipped with the right technology, you can do that. Where if the parent alt tabs, and you call out the parent, you say, "Hey, Patrick, I saw you were not on, in our virtual classroom right now." Oh, the smile that you see in that second, because they're like, "Oh, if you can catch me, I know you can catch little Jimmy too." right? Because, as an adult, you think you're so smart about managing your facial expressions, etc., right? So really be mindful of that the number one thing is this eliminating distractions and catching bad behavior. We found these two to be critically valuable in being effective ambassadors and salespeople of online tutoring. Okay, so now to the interesting stuff that pertains to, we have an online system that works, we want to add more value. So here's the formula that we've seen bear great fruit time and time and time again. Literally think about, how are you going to add 10x the value to 10x as many clients? You're creating 100x more value. I can literally guarantee you that you will grow your business by 10x. I have now seen this happen multiple times with multiple clients. The numbers where I use them to illustrate are literally actual numbers. And in fact, in some cases, some of my clients have numbers that are significantly higher than that, which I'm going to show you. So, it's really exciting to see their growth, to see their impact. And yeah, let's dive right in. But does my framing make sense? Any questions, any clarifications? I'm very much a value-driven and values-driven person. I'm very much in the camp of, if you drive a lot more value, you'll be able to capture a little bit more. And that's great, right? So first and foremost, have a better tutoring session. Who agrees that a better tutoring session will command more value? Yeah, easy to agree, right? Thank you. Now, the catch is this. Where are we defining the bounds of a tutoring session? Okay. Here's what I mean. I have a client, true case study, charged $60 per hour for a one-on-one session. All right. Here's what we then started to do together. So at Pencil, we also do strategic consulting with our clients, and we did this with this client, and that's really how a lot of these insights came to be. We realized that actually the better tutoring sessions are the ones that deeply acknowledge and think about not just in session, but they start creating value pre-session, and they don't stop creating value after the session as well. Remember, deliver 10x the value to 10x as many people, right? If you can deliver more value, all else is inevitable. So, revenue in session equals price times quantity. So when we started out working with this partner of ours, they said, look, I charge $60 per hour for a one-on-one session. And their framing was, that's what we do. That is what's happening inside the session, right? We started expanding our horizons left and right, pre and post session, right? In fact, we went way beyond this. But for now, let's just focus on this. Post session, they started providing recordings of the lesson. Now think about it. How many of you record the lessons? Please raise your hands if you record lessons for your clients. Amazing. Now, please lower your hand if you provide those recordings for free. Excellent. So, Ade Busola, am I right to understand that you charge for your recordings? Please say yes. It would be such a great narrative to get to share with the
Well,
community.
I don't charge. I only provide it when it's being requested. I don't just give it to them just for free. Like, it has to be requested for a reason. Maybe the students wants to learn a little bit more, or something is not clear and the parents has requested. It's not kind of like an everyday thing.
Got it. Thank you for sharing. Now, I don't know if someone has already said this, but I'm almost certain one of you is thinking that the student can record the session anyways. I'm sure someone is thinking that. If that is the case, I'd like to address it. Well, I would like to address it because I'm sure that thought crossed your mind. There are a lot of things that we can do anyways, right? And my favorite example of this is mineral water, right? Mineral water is sold in markets, right? And you think, but anyone can just go and get a bottle and fill it up with water, and it'll be pretty good water. Why do we buy mineral water, right? There is value in convenience, there is value in safeguarding, there is value in a quality recording. Okay, let me ask this. Who amongst you has at least once in your life purchased mineral water? All of us, right? Why did we buy it? Convenience, reliability, so many things, right? I, as parent, may or may not rely on my child to take the recording, to capture the recording. I may or may not, reliably know. Thank you, folks, for your great participation. May or may not know, that this recording is going to be captured correctly. But if the tutor is guaranteeing it, right, and we have this contract because now I'm paying for this recording, the recording is valuable. I mean, think about it. I just spent $60. What's another $6 that'll cause my child to watch the recording again? Right? $60 is a good amount of money. $6 more to watch the recording again, parents will pay for it because they will see the value, right? And part of it is they have paid for that recording, so they're going to extract even more value from that recording. We track analytics of how many times the recordings are watched, and we see really healthy numbers, especially when our clients report to us that these were paid recordings. Something for you to consider, right? I trust that you definitely agree that there is more value in having the recording than not. I do see several people asking the question. Why do you think a student would pay for the recording, et cetera, et cetera? The mineral water example is one. The other example that I would say is, why would a child even get tutoring in the first place? Because they could have paid attention in class to begin with, right? It's a true statement also, right? Or why would a child pay for tutoring if they could just read the textbook to begin with? So again, there are aspects of human behavior and value transfer here that are real considerations. And if you can deliver more value through these means, then that's great. People value that. In fact, not just recordings, we went on to add even more value by providing a summary of the session, by providing action items and next steps. And that allowed our clients to charge $10 more per session. If the parent doesn't want it for their child, you don't have to offer it. And if you believe that if the parent believes that the child is going to record it, by all means, right? You're not stopping that. You're giving them this option, right? And if you deliver quality recordings that are safeguarded, if you deliver a quality summary, quality action items as next steps, and so on, people value that. People value that a lot. It is more than a 17% improvement, to be very mathematical, in the value equation of the session. And pre-session, right? AI generated diagnostics, some reading materials for that session, personalized worksheets, personalized question, again, easily adds $10 more in value pre-session. We have seen this with data, sometimes even more than $10, because now the parent sees they got this prompt for the child to do some stuff. And they're like, okay, not only is this tutor a professional, they are committed to my child's success. And in fact, they start valuing the whole package even more. And then you improve the quality of the lesson that you're delivering with very, very high engagement. You don't just do a Zoom lesson, don't just do a Google Meets lesson. That delivers much more engagement. And we've seen parents willing to spend considerably more than this. In fact, each of these three numbers are undercounts of what we have seen our clients do. Any questions on what I've shared thus far? I am sure there is at least one person who is very skeptical about what I'm saying. So more than happy to engage and discuss this with you. If you're tutoring one-to-one, wouldn't you give personalized feedback and action items as part of your lesson anyway? That's a great question. Most people don't. Folks, how many of you, for every single lesson, offer personalized feedback and action item as part of your lesson anyway? Please raise your hand if you do that anyways. So 9 of you do it anyways, which is great. Some of you probably don't, and maybe some of you haven't considered it. And I also can appreciate the sentiment that some of us may not want to charge more money to parents. I totally appreciate that. And I'm more than happy to discuss with you strategies by which you can make tutoring more accessible and more equitable to others. However, in this particular context, I would digress too much to go in that direction. Although I am also super passionate about access and would love to talk to you about that. I have tutors, several of our clients who literally provide tutoring scholarships, meaning they provide tutoring for free to a number of children, and they inform their parents, the other clients, that, by the way, I do this, and this is what I do. And in fact, parents are very happy to hear that we ourselves have a tutor for our child who that tutor provides free tutoring, and we're very happy that our child is being tutored by this person who is giving back to the community. So again, just depends on how you want to frame your contribution, but certainly appreciate the spirit of contribution, and one that personally I relate to and applaud. So 60 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. This is real math, real case study. In some cases, the numbers were $11.12 or whatnot, but wherever I'm used numbers, I've only rounded down, not rounded up, right? So revenue equals price times quantity, $60 for a one-on-one session, but now the value equation has changed. So really, revenue equals price times quantity, but price is driven by value, and I love focusing on value. So we've gone from $60 to $90. That's a 50% bump. Okay. So, all right, we've done a better session. We've delivered more value. We've gone from 60 to $90. Now, many of you may know that there is a massive global teacher shortage, right? And for those of us who are students of economics, we probably remember aggregate demand and aggregate supply as really key frameworks. Not only is there a major global shortage of teachers, there's also a really strong appetite and desire for teachers from the UK, because more and more countries abroad are now starting to offer the GCSE, IGCSE exams. So the British system is expanding its reach more and more and more. English is becoming even more and more and more popularized, which again means teachers, especially teachers from the UK, are in increasing demand. So better tutoring sessions which become exposed to global demand, right? And this is where when I was doing the analysis, I was quite shocked, but true numbers, in fact, the actual number is a bit higher than this also, right? But when you are exposing yourself to global demand, you can literally charge twice as much, right? But so long as you have the quality piece checked out. If you don't meet the quality bar, it becomes significantly more difficult to do that. And we've seen this in our data as well, which is why my ordering. Any questions here? All right, hearing none, I will proceed. In fact, let me just check in chat. Okay, seeing no other questions, let's proceed. So, okay, you have better tutoring sessions that are exposed to global demand. You're at 3x, which is quite outstanding. Now the next piece is, how do we deliver this 10x value to 10x as many clients? Does that make sense? To get to 10x as many clients, right, One very simple and somewhat knee-jerk reaction that people get is, wait a second, I can't charge the same amount of money that I charge for group sessions as I do in one-on-one sessions. So if you're telling me, Ayush, that I should have 10 people sessions and still charge, whatever price I just suggested, like, what am I talking about? Again, blows my mind, but it's the truth. There are many clients of ours, we know of many people now who used to charge $65 per user per hour, used to charge $70 per student per hour, and now they charge $70 per student per hour in a group of 10, 15, even 20 students. Fact. Right? How did they do it is the key question, right? This is a fact. And I know most of the people that I tell this to, they're like, how could this be? Right. And, I invite you to really, truly get out of your own way, right? Because if you think it cannot be, it certainly cannot be for you. But it is being for others. And, I invite you to consider how they made it happen. So first off, one-on-one tutoring sessions, those end up being the format. And then people think, hey, maybe I can do group sessions and that's it. Well, the ecosystem has innovated a lot. Okay. To get to 10x as many people, the ecosystem has invented all these other formats of adding value. Group tutoring sessions, parallel sessions, study halls, office hours, even delivering tutor training, and even doing tutoring on demand. These are all ways in which they're effectively reaching 10x as many people per hour on average. All right. That is 10x as many people per hour on average. Yes, Amy, please. Amy, you're muted.
Sorry, forgot to turn it off.
No worries.
Can you just tell me what parallel sessions are?
Absolutely. So parallel sessions are this really cool, innovative format where you either need a system that allows you to have tutoring in multiple tabs and you know how to control that, or you need a system that offers breakout rooms. Assuming you have that, what I can do is from 1 to 2 p.m., I can teach Joe mathematics, grade 3 mathematics, and I can teach Sally grade 4 science, assuming I know how to teach both of these disciplines. I can literally hop back and forth between these two rooms and provide each student individual attention, but not individual attention the entire time, because honestly, while the child is working on the problem, they actually don't need my presence anyways, right? So parallel tutoring is this format where you hop back and forth between 1 to 3 people even, and serve them in their learning sessions. Just to give you an idea, there's a company called C2 Education in the United States that has done this and has achieved more than $100 million in revenue per year. So again, all the methods, all the techniques that I'm showing you, I literally have clients who do them online. I'm more than happy to explain and show you how it's done. And, you know, they're able to capture a lot more value for themselves and create a lot of value, most importantly, for their clients. Any other questions? If you don't mind raising your hand. Yes, Daniela.
What are study halls and office hours?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Study hall is a really innovative format, again, invented in the tutoring world by clever tutors out there. Study halls are when you are a tutor and you get, you know, 10, 15, 20 students to come into your virtual classroom and do their work in their own private boards. And the students do their work in the private boards quietly, and they send you messages via private chat asking you questions, asking you for help, right? And if your virtual classroom has the support for capabilities like that, it's amazing, right? If you have private boards to support, and you can, you know, again, manage the engagement, which is not that hard to do. parents pay a lot of money for that, because remember, the value here is in the learning, right? 10x the value. If the learning is happening and the child is paying attention and is doing that focused time, right? That is the value. That is the job that's being done. And, doesn't mean you may not need to charge the same exact price as a tutoring session. But
No.
again, you can have a study hall with 30 students, right?
Great
And
idea.
happen. Study halls explicitly, well, they can use breakout rooms, but they don't have to. I'm more than happy to speak to you about each of these formats, but to discuss each format in depth, because again, partial knowledge is dangerous in this case. So I don't want you to walk away with, oh yeah, I thought you do this, and then I tried it out and it failed. So I'm a little hesitant about doing a half-baked job on this, but again, happy to discuss as a follow-up. The other format is that is also interesting and just worth talking about is people have this assumption that group tutoring sessions are truly less personal and less effective. But keep in mind, there is such a thing called teaching your peer and learning through teaching. Keep in mind that teamwork and group work are also really valuable skills, and hearing the perspective of different classmates is actually of real value also, right? The key is how are you able to extract and deliver that value for everyone involved. And again, I have multiple clients who have done this to great effect, and I'm more than happy to connect you with them. And they have generously offered to train folks like yourself on how they pulled it off. And it's pretty amazing. Like, it's little tweaks, right?
Because it's very likely like the work in the classroom, literally.
It is a little, and it is not also.
Yeah.
Again, online things change. Let me just go through. Thank you, Daniela, for your question. Did I do justice to your question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. Let me just read. Thank you, folks, for the method, for your input in chat. Would I be able to share name of UK tutoring websites? US tutoring websites. I'm in Singapore right now, just for context. We work with clients in 200 countries. So we connect our members, our communities, with folks all over the world. And depending on, whether you're special needs, depending on, again, what you do, more than happy to discuss. I don't have a single specific name off the top of my head that comes up. Ends up being a bit more specialized than that, but again, happy to discuss. Can you give examples of how tutoring on demand works? Yeah, tutoring on demand is often offered as a premium service, right? Where you literally have the tutor on speed dial, and you deliver that at a higher fee rate. I think I answered the study halls question. Platforms that have Pencil Spaces does offer study halls and parallel tutoring and all of these other formats. You can every single one of these formats. It's interesting. We didn't invent these formats, right? Pencil Spaces has the capabilities to support all of these formats. And then, we saw tutors in the ecosystem innovate and leverage the powerful capabilities of Pencil Spaces to create these new formats and massively grow their business. Office hours. Thank you, Lisa. Office hours is an experience whereby you announce to your students that you're going to be dialed in from 2 to 3 p.m. right? And anyone and everyone is welcome to join on every day of the week from 2 to 3 p.m. period, right? Can be one student who dials in, can be 20 students who dial in, etc. It's just a different format. And the pitch is it teaches the student to take ownership of their learning, and you can report attendance. In Pencil Spaces, you can report attendance automatically to the parent of how many times did the child show up on their own volition for office hours. So it is actually a really interesting way to show to the parent how the child and the student is maturing. And we have some clients who got bonus money from their clients. We have some tutors who got bonus money from parents because the parents started noticing that after working with this tutor, the student actually started going to office hours, right? Which is not a, dear student Jimmy, you have to show up at 2 p.m. type of thing, right? Like they wanted to. Intrinsic motivation kicked in, and that is something that was very important to clients understand, to parents understandably. I think when is a class too big? Again, guys, it takes skill, right? All of us, we even have to learn how to walk, right? None of us are born walking, right? We have to then learn how to cycle if we want to go a little bit faster, and we have to learn how to drive a car if we want to go even faster, or learn how to fly a plane, and so on. So these are all acquired skills, folks. I really want to invite you, and I urge you to get out of your own way and to really rethink your self-limiting beliefs, or your limiting beliefs that are limiting you, right? And turn them into unleashing beliefs. Because if you get in your way and you start thinking, gee, 20 people is just too many and I can't do it, I can guarantee you, you will not be able to do it. But if you start being resourceful and start resourcing yourself with the right tools, you will have the 10x growth that people are having. As I was sharing earlier, I have people now who were at 60 per hour who are averaging $600 per hour or more on a very consistent basis, right? So it is very much achievable, done by now more than 6 people. At least one of them has offered to train you guys as well on how to do this. So my key message to you: really focus on adding value, adding a lot and a lot more value to a lot and a lot more people. If you 100x the amount of value that you are creating, the amount of impact, the difference that you're making in the world around you, you will automatically, the effect is quite automatic. And some of these clients didn't start out by saying, I'm gonna, they were motivated by impact. They are motivated by impact, and the business grew because it did, right? They couldn't help but reach more people and make a bigger difference. Eleni, thank you for raising your hand. What's your question?
Hi, and thank you so much for this seminar. I guess my main question, I kind of wrote it down, but I think I got lost in the other questions. My main question with all of this is how to advertise. I mean, I've just been doing the obvious things and using agencies, like UK-based agencies like Superprof, things like that. And despite, I don't mean to sound arrogant, but despite having a very strong CV, I'm not getting enough requests. And so I think that's kind of like my main sticking point, is that I just don't have enough visibility. And would you advise that we kind of like go off agencies and create our own website, or do like Google advertising, or what's the best way to, because like, I completely agree with everything that you said. You can grow your business a lot with online, but I think I'm just not visible enough. I don't know if other people feel the same way.
Yeah, that's a really really great question. And John, we should do a session on that, like effective tutor advertising, because there's so much to discuss just on this alone. Eleni, the challenge is that there are a lot of great CVs out there, and there are also a lot of CVs that appear really great that are out there, right? And the thing that I've seen by far that causes clients to win ultimately is just incredible amounts of differentiation, right? And if everyone is tutoring on a business meeting platform like Zoom or Teams or Google Meet, and so are you, right? That is not doing you too many favors, because you're not differentiated, right? You have to cause the child's mother or father to want to talk about you with someone else because you just did something so amazing, so different, right? And that starts from the moment you enroll them, right, and what their enrollment experience was like, to the summaries you send, to the experience you generate, and so on. My best clients, I've seen it time and time again, they just deliver a ton of value. They really focus on all of these things, and they I mean, it's excellent to see how much value they add, and then the story literally crafts itself, and they entirely grow by word of mouth. All these clients that I speak of, they all have, they now have wait lists, and they are continuing to able to charge higher and higher fees for their offerings. They've all gone international. They've all grown their teams. They've built a method. So it is very much possible, and it is not that you lack advertising. I think the problem is in a market structure where there are so many people doing the same undifferentiated thing. It's, in fact, I'd almost turn around and say, all of you on this call are incredibly, savvy and thoughtful, and you're here, you're upping your skills. You're already the kinds of people who would be ready to up your game and take advantage of what better optimized virtual classrooms have to offer, and so on. For example, I think I saw a question come in about, are you able to see any of these tutors? Yeah, I'm happy to point you to one who, again, has agreed to be available. Let me send you his LinkedIn. Some of you, I know, at least, I think, yeah, John, you've probably met him. This is Dr. Singh. He was one of our first few case studies on people who have more than 10x. He is really committed to the craft. He has way more than 10x now, like way more than 10x. And he's a very generous spirit, and has offered to train and coach and share his expertise as well. So that's at least one person I can think of. Some of my other clients have, I told them that we'll be doing this talk and so on. And if I get their permission, I will certainly share their information with you as well. You're more than welcome to obviously connect with Indra Mohan, and he's based out of Melbourne. Just incredibly bright tutor, incredibly committed to the craft of tutoring. Was a scientific researcher, and then decided to not research cells, and instead pursue his passion for teaching. Sure, but where would they see you in the first place in order to choose you? Eleni, thank you for asking that question. I think that I don't have a very immediate answer to offer, because for any business, the first 10 customers are definitely the hardest to get. So I can appreciate that, because you need to build your momentum, and it's the 0 to 1 phase. We can help you with that at Pencil Spaces. If that is something you'd like, let me know. We've heard from multiple clients of ours now that it's the 0 to 1 phase where they struggle with getting clients. And those are the kinds of things where, our community can be of value and of support to you. Folks, how was this for you? Was this helpful? Did you get a sense of, even if you don't do 10x, which honestly you can, really, truly you can, if you unleash, have self-unleashing beliefs, you truly can, right? But hey, you know what? Even if you double, it's not that bad, right? John, thank you for having me.
No, yeah, I'd like to say a big thank you to Ayush. Thank you for hosting the session for us. Thank you for all your insight here. I think it's been really interesting to hear the points you've been able to put across, and all the different ways in which people can optimize basically what is the business side of how to actually deliver the job effectively of being a tutor. And I can completely see how there's a lot of ways to maximize the value you actually generate for the clients, and obviously that then generates a better bottom line at the end, because obviously the more value you generate for clients, the more clients will pay you, the more willing they'll be to pay you. So thanks so much for all your insight there. Thanks so much for everyone who's contributed great questions. We've now reached the end. It was a great session. Ayush is kind enough to put his WhatsApp down there in the chat in case you want to get in touch with him later. And the session has been recorded, so will be made available online later on as well. We'll send that out to the members. So thanks so much, everyone. Big thank you to Ayush as well, and I look forward to seeing you again at a summer session soon.